Podcast.
Flurry, flurry, flurry. Pitter patter, pitter patter. Sound the goddamn bells. What the hell is today? January 26th, 2015. Ladies and gentlemen, New England is going to be no more after tonight and tomorrow. We are getting the blizzard of 2015. First it was 10 inches, then it was 15 inches, then it was 20 inches, and I just checked and now it's going to be 42 inches. 42 inches. I don't even know what to do with that kind of snow. Other than to, I don't even know, wither away and crawl next to a pet who's probably starving, cold, dying at the same rate as I am. Or maybe not. Maybe we'll be perfectly fine and have power. And we'll make snowmen and shovel our driveways until our backs break. Either way, it's coming. Thought I'd get one of these in just in case we all kind of bite the bucket on its way in. So, could be the last one ever. But the first one with the camera. So we'll see if I can get some editing chops in there and make that happen. Probably not, but we're going to work on it. Let's see. This, I believe, is going to be episode 7. There was an episode 7. Brian had finally made it to the actual event itself, his own show. But we just had so many neat things to talk about. It went on and on and on, and went longer than I can really handle for the program. I need to split the episode up and figure out how to put it up, because I found a new domain for the podcast so that it has an RSS feed, and now we can download from the site an MP3. You can download from iTunes just to throw it on your phone or whatever you're using. So just makes it easier now, because before it used to just be videos, and now it's going to actually be audio that you can download. And if you actually want to listen to this, you can just throw it on and listen to it with headphones or in the car or just in other situations that having a downloadable piece of it makes it more convenient, opposed to just sitting there and watching a video of nothing. But maybe something now. I don't know. So, yeah, potentially this is episode 7. Let's start this off. 2 things I want to go over real quick before we get it going. First thing I want to do is I want to push a really good friend of mine, Mr. Jesse Ricks, because as of the last couple months to a year or so, he has been putting out some amazing work. He's a tattoo artist out of New Hampshire, out of Keene, New Hampshire. He does a lot of, let's see what the right term is. Maybe realism? I mean, he can do anything, but he does amazing portraits, amazing sceneries. He's had a lot of different works kind of go viral. One of the big ones he's last had was this triangular shape, almost 3-dimensional themed wall that's kind of breaking down. And beyond the wall, you see an array of different planets and galaxies and just tons and tons. It's an overload of color in this too. You got to check it out. If you look up Jesse Ricks on Facebook, you can find a lot of his artwork there. You can find all the different portals to book an appointment with him. Like I said, look into his portfolio, all his back catalogs, and just his contact information, where he's located, and hopefully when you can actually get in there, because he's pretty booked for a lot of the time. But he does open up the books, and he makes a big announcement, and you got to make sure that you put in all your information and try to grab a spot in there, and then he gets obviously he gets back to you. He works by himself. Like I said, it's just Jesse Ricks Studios. So he just, like I said, he works for himself, and he doesn't work with anyone else. And I guess that's kind of why it can go through the process that it does with the booking, because it's only him. But he's the best. So if you want somebody good, you're gonna wait, just a little while. I don't think it's too long. I think he's got it down to a science on when to fit people in, how to get them, how to get everybody satisfied. So, like I said, when he opens up his books, you know, put in all your information, give him a description of what you're looking for, where you want it, and you guys will get together, have a conversation on how it's going to go down, and he's going to hook you up. He's going to make you look amazing for the rest of your life. You will never get one of his tattoos lasered off of you because you want a something, state trooper job or something. I don't know. You'll deal with it. They'll deal with it because it is some of the best work you will ever see and ever get. You should be so lucky to get something from him. Okay? So, that's number one. Jesse Ricks. Check him out. If you don't, you're a fool. Number two. This is kind of random, but I went there a couple of weeks ago. This place called Ralph's Rock Diner, or Ralph's by the locals, what they call it. It's on Grove Street. It's in Worcester. It's a neat place. You know, you go in. It's a diner, but I think long ago they extended onto it into another bar and sitting area around the other side of the actual diner, and then you can go upstairs. And upstairs is a music venue. And actually, this morning went to some physical therapy I had, and there was a girl I ran into, and she said that she had been there, and she said it perfectly. It's kind of it's like a nightmarish Jimmy Buffett kind of place because it's very colorful. But it's definitely a venue that a lot of rock metal bands go to, you know? So it's a little dungy, it's a lot of leather, it's a lot of beards. But it's colorful, it's fun, and the service is really good. The bartenders behind the diner and everything are really cool, and you can get burgers and things like that. And it's just a neat place to go to when, when you don't want to go to a place that's full of just raging hormones and 10 gallons of this cologne and that perfume and, just an overpopulated place that just might not be your vibe because of the intent there. This is just a cool place with, I don't know. I don't even know if I want to say it, but it has kind of a culty indie vibe, just a lot of cool people, go there, and they're really, really nice, and it's not too crowded, and you drink your dark beers and you get your big ass burger and you go listen to some metal and that's it, And so if you're into that kind of thing, I definitely suggest that. It's a really neat place. I had a lot of fun there. It's open till like 1:30 or so. Yeah, last call, 1:30. And boys and girls, make sure you're over 21 because if you're not, it's just no fun. Okay, it's just no fun. You got to have stimulation. All right. So. That's it. Those are the first two at the beginning of episode 7. So that's what this is. So to celebrate some of the greats, the legends, for music on this one, we're gonna play a little, or at least we're gonna try. Maybe we're not gonna try. Hold on. What the hell happened here? Let's find out. I'll do a little Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang just came out with a new CD. A Better Tomorrow. Not really appropriate right now because tomorrow is going to be like shit. It's not going to be a better tomorrow. It's going to be a shittier tomorrow. A worse tomorrow. But, got to keep your spirits up. And how else do you do it with some Wu-Tang? So like I said, this came out, I'd say a couple weeks ago. I don't exactly know the date. I should know the date because I was waiting forever for it. Let's see. Yeah, I think it's been about 7 years or so since this came out, or since a new release came out from the Woo. And I like it. It's very different. It definitely goes back and forth with the feel of a lot of old 36 chambers kind of beats, and modally too. Kind of what he chooses to play for keys and things like that. But he also has a kind of a new vibe with live kits and different kind of samples, and they're not so minor sounding like a lot of the 36 chamber and forever stuff. Some people aren't into it. Some people love it. I think it's a mixed bag. Really, it's a CD that has a little bit of both. A little bit of the old and a little bit of the new. Let's see. Well, either way, I'll find a way. Let's see if I can do this. This Let's see. Radio ain't working, so we're going to play it through something else. Either way, we're going to get some woo. Where's the damn CD? So, yeah. Either way, Wu-Tang. Go and get it. A Better Tomorrow. Go listen to it. Preview it. Spotify, whatever the hell you want to use. And pick it up if you like it. You know, support the legends. Because I think it took a lot of effort to get all these guys back together and to actually do this thing. Because it doesn't seem like it would be an easy thing to get a whole slew of guys together to make a new album. Never mind 9 or 8 of them. You know, it's hard enough trying to get maybe 1 or 2 people together to even jam or practice. So imagine what it takes to do that. So let's get going. Here we go. What is it? 7. Episode 7. Potentially episode 7. And episode 8, we all hope Brian will be in and make it back. He's getting in the groove. He'll be in it. Don't worry. Let's get the CD going. Okay. 2 main things I want to cover. Just real quick. Other than our impending death from this blizzard. So everybody be careful. That shit will pass by the time you even listen to this. So, first thing is just a couple I've been looking into, due to just certain circumstances and obviously recreationally. We all know that in Massachusetts, medical marijuana is there. But is it available? It's taken way too long. I believe we had 21 licenses in the state of Massachusetts, and I think 9 of them went and were bought. And I think, like most things, it was a lot of politics that went down with why certain licenses weren't bought right away, why the people that did get them, why they even got them. You know what I'm saying? So different relationships with people that allow them to go through. You know, and who has the funds and the resources and just the proper planning to open one of these things. You know, these things have to obviously be legit, and they have to be very organized, and there has to be a lot of different resources and financial backing and stuff like that. So last I knew, there was going to be one in Milford called Milford Medicinals. Milford Medicinals, yeah. And, you know, like all of them, a couple employees. I believe one physician would be out there. You can either go there and have yourself evaluated with your doctor's notes or anything like that, with paperwork to kind of state your case on why you feel like you may benefit from using medical cannabis. Let's see. And there we go. Track number 1, Ruckus in B minor. It's so good. It's so damn good. So, what the hell was I saying? Yeah, so these dispensaries aren't out yet, and it's definitely, like I said, taken too long. But in taking too long, I've been trying to research other avenues of looking into what's happening and what's available. Luckily, I have some friends that have had to use it medically and have their cards. They've gone to the appropriate avenues and seen the physicians that they need, and they acquired their card. So once they did that, and these are people that are brand new users too, you know. Some of them are a little older and have never tried it before, never smoked it before, but they're in such need because of the kind of pain that they have, that just through the grapevine they just heard, supposedly this helps for people with my similar kind of symptoms and pain. And now they're huge advocates for it. And I think that's really what we need, is the more people kind of get a little open to it and try it and see the benefits of it for what you may need. Those are going to be the best representatives, because it's all experiential. You know, they've experienced an actual outcome to using this stuff. And I think as time goes on, the culture will move forward with this, and it's going to be incrementally with people like that, you know, first-time users that see the wonder and feel the realities of it. You know, it really does help with their pain. So, anyways, in being in contact with these people, they have giving me a lot more information than I've ever had too. Now, I think we've all known that these strands, the cannabis strands, can come in indica and sativa. And we know a lot of the big differences between them. You know, your sativas are more for your active, more energetic experience. If you're looking to be more creative, you want to work on your book or work on anything with writing or music and things like that. These things can kind of get you in a zone where your creative juices get antsy, so you want to spill them out, and you end up grabbing ideas that you never would have before, and things like that. Or just daily chores, or doing stuff around the house. Some people just want a little positive stimulation, and why not rake the lawn with feeling a little good like that? There's all the more power to you. I know a lot of people that do that, work on their cars, do all these things. It helps a lot of people actually concentrate more so than they would on a regular basis. And then you have your indicas, which I believe are much more geared towards people's pain, much more geared towards helping people with their with like sleep apnea, any issues with the nighttime, really, falling asleep, getting a full night's sleep. And those are much more of a relaxing kind of body stimulus too. But what I didn't know is, and I'm gonna really tear this up, so I'll try to make it very simple, is that between these two strands, within them, the psychoactive property is the THC. And then we have the CBD, which I knew very little of a while ago. I knew very little of it until just a little while ago. And past that, I mean, those are the two main components: the THC and the CBD. CBD is I believe it's a cannabinoid in the strand that helps. That's a big factor with your pain, with your seizures, with your neuropathic issues and things like that. That is the side that's much more of the medicinal aspect of this whole thing. Is strands that have a high potency of CBD and not so much THC. Some people don't want to get high. Some people don't want to get loopy and kind of get overwhelmed with that heady high kind of feeling, which it can overwhelm people, and people want to be able to function, and people feel vulnerable when they're like that. So the CBD, if you have a higher ratio of this CBD, that acts as more, and the best way I can put it is it can act more as an ibuprofen. You feel the effects of it due to the lack of what's going on maybe in your body. Hopefully it's a lot, but a lot of time it's minute. But just that minute difference is enough for people to get some relief, which is good. That's the whole point. That's the blessing. And you have higher strands of this CBD. It allows you to function more. It's not so psychoactive, and I think those are the kind of strands that are the push forward towards people really accepting this. Seeing it more as a true medicine, and that's kind of the fun part of this. It is a medicine, and it's beneficial. It can be beneficial, no matter, I would say, where the ratio lies with the CBD and the THC. But if you really are someone who just is uncomfortable kind of getting that high, then you lean more towards strands that have more CBD. And the nice thing is that a lot of these physicians now, they're very schooled and educated on all of the different types, because there are many different types of them. They all have their own names to them. And when you go and get evaluated, they will sit down with you, look at your ailments, look at what's going on, and help you figure out what the best strands there are out there for you, whether you should be vaporizing it, smoking it, or just taking it in a simple edible, whether it's a gummy bear, or hopefully sometime in the near future, which I think will be a big one, is just in supplement form. You just get a little tiny supplement pill, plastic pill. It has a certain amount of milligrams in it. You gauge how much you need, and that's it. There's no taste to it. It's just a regular, you take it like we've taken so many meds before, in pill form. It makes things easy when people do things that seem familiar to them. And I think doing it in supplement form will be one of the better ones, because some people can't have a lot of sugar, some people can't have starches or or wheat and things like that, and all these edibles, as wonderful as they are, even people with food allergies might have a difficult time eating them, even though they want to get the effect of them, And some people can't have that, and also can't smoke because of just how rough it is on their throat. They're people that cough easily with it, and hopefully vaporizing is something that helps them. But either way, the point is that if you make it in supplement form, it becomes, to me, one of the most neutral ways of actually taking it, and most comfortable because you're familiar with it. You don't associate it with smoke and smelling it. You can kind of shut off your mind to the old stigmas of the whole thing when you take it in just a nice little supplemental form, like we do everything, whether it's your vitamin B's or D's or whatever the frig you're taking. So even beyond that, what I really wanted to get to was there's even subdivisions of this. So you have a CBDV, THCA, CBG, THCV, and these are all smaller cannabinoid ratios inside of your strands. And it's neat because you can look up a lot of these things. Like the CBDV, they have a pie chart of what can be in your strand. And in the pie charts, it can actually give you a lot of explanations and medical terminology of the advantages to some of these cannabinoids. Like the CBDV is a bone stimulant. What else was it? The CBC is a bone stimulant. It's also an anti-inflammatory. The regular CBD is an anti-diabetic, antibacterial. So the CBD one's huge. Anti-spasmatic, which is huge for people with a lot of muscle pain, and a lot of muscle pain can come from the constant tension it's getting from maybe an abnormal aspect of your bone structure or your spinal structure, when it's pressing on a certain area or a certain amount internally on your muscles, they can get into a constant mode of tension, and if you want to be able to relax those without muscle relaxers, this might help just a little bit, and I know people that it has, it's a nice alternative. And obviously some anti-inflammatories. It's good if you like to work out or if you train or anything like that. These, the CBD also helps with that too. So you get something potent with that. That can help with a lot of joint pain, muscle pain, anything that can come from either an active lifestyle, exercise, or just an injury that just might have happened in the first place, just by accident. So I guess really just if you are interested and if it is something that you are curious about, these are things that you can absolutely just go online, Google, and there's a lot of information out there now. And why I never stumbled onto this, I don't really know. But once I started stumbling onto this, I started getting into a lot of other things too, where one of the big ones, which is a nice convenient one too, is as of right now, there aren't any dispensaries open, I believe. They're all up and coming. When the hell that is, no one knows. And when they do, I think they're going to be bombarded and mobbed because everyone's waiting for their alternative medicines. People just want to try this stuff and get off of whatever they're using with all of its side effects. So, but the alternative that I've seen and looked into is a home delivery service. And one of the things that I found based out of Boston, it's called the Boston Bake Shop. And I've yet to try this out, but I've read plenty of reviews. And through some people that I know that are going to get it, I will be able to experience this service somewhat soon, hopefully. And what it is the Boston Bake Shop, I don't think has a storefront, but they are a distributor of different products, whether it's edibles, lemonades, sodas, candies, pastries, and I think at least maybe 3 different actual flower strands of it. And they have a menu on their website. And I found the Boston Bake Shop. They have an Instagram too, so I would check them out. I subscribe to their Instagram, and they kind of update things with their new products and And, just like anything else, it's fun to just keep updated with stuff like that. But I found Boston Bake Shop through a directory called Leafly, Leafly. And if you go on there, it's a directory, but it's also kind of a nice informational aid where you can click on a link, and there was a link that I went to that gives you in elemental chart form the names of so many different strands through the indica and sativa family, and then you can filter it for what you're looking for. Pain, you want it for exercise, you want it for creativity, you want it for sleep. And if you want it to correlate with an indica or sativa or a hybrid, it will morph the elemental chart by color code and by abbreviation and show you all the different things it has to offer and what's out there. And the nice thing is that, to me, these are official names in the official categories. So when you find one that you do like, because that's the problem with the black market, you want to try to find something so you can actually fall asleep. It's like you work in the morning, you got kids, you got this, you got that. It's like you're running off 4 hours of sleep every single day, but you want 8, and you're just sitting there, freaking the fuck out for like 3 hours. You just can't fall asleep. You want to get good sleep. It's optimal. It's the only way. It's one of the biggest fuels in life is some good sleep. So, you want to get that. And you take the risk of just buying it illegally like everyone does. You have no clue what it is. Your buyer probably doesn't have a fuck what it is. They just give it to you saying, oh, it smells delicious and it's red and it's green. Try it, And you could love it or you could hate it. But with this chart and with the dispensaries, you're able to calculate what you want, find this white widow, whatever you're looking for, because it does what you want it to do. You go to the dispensary. Hi, do you have the White Widow hybrid in a supplemental form or edible form or in flower form? And if they do, you can kind of expect what you're going to get, and you're going to get the benefits of it. So, let's see. So, I don't know, that to me is just a big deal. You go in knowing what you want. It's like anything else that's regulated. There's information, you research it, you figure out what's good for you, and you're able to go and get it and hopefully get the experience. But when it's illegal, it's spread all over the black market. It's spread all over people that don't know too much about it because of all the different degrees of hands that it goes through. And by the time you get it, you might as well just be smoking oregano, and it's not doing anything for what you really need it for. And what did you do? You spent a lot of money on it, and that's frustrating. It's a huge waste. So it's nice that these sites are out now, backed and supported by educated people with degrees, physicians, botanists, and just entrepreneurs that really believe in this thing. So they're putting out good information, and people are finally getting it. So the point of all this is that you can go to Leafly, you can get your information. Hopefully, this Boston Bake Shop, if you choose them, because I think there are a few other ones, but I just kind of stuck with this because I liked the menu that they had. There's actually another non-storefront distributor that has at least over 10 to 12 different flower buds or kinds. So if you're someone that likes to use the vaporizer, if you like to actually burn it, then maybe that's a place for you too. So you can go there, and these companies also work with, I think it's called Green Smart MC. And you can look this up too. This is all on Leafly. And that's a driving service. It's a courier service pretty much. And it's all through Massachusetts. So the situation is that if you need some for whatever it is that you need, you call the Boston Bake Shop. I believe when you call the Boston Bake Shop, you, in whatever way that you can, through documentation, through any information you can give over the phone, prove your certificate or your license to actually purchase medicinal cannabis. And like I said, I haven't done this yet, but my guess is that you qualify for it. They approve you for the purchase because of your proof that you have the proper documentation of it, and you choose it. And as you choose it, they will use this Green Smart MC company to bring you your product. So you can live in Worcester, get something from the Boston Bake Shop, and I believe hopefully you can actually get that delivered to you within 24 hours through a courier service, you know. And like I said, the little gray area that for me, because I haven't done this yet, or I haven't known anyone who has, but I've read many reviews. All of these sites have a lot of reviews on them, so it's nice. You can get firsthand information and experience testimonials by just reading a lot of them. But the little gray spot in this is kind of how you get evaluated on the phone to make sure you have your proper documentation and cannabis card, so that everything is above the rug and nothing feels non-legitimate, you know. So check it out, bostonbakeshop.com, Leafly, I believe it's leafly.com. I can check right now instead of guessing. This isn't a guessing game when you have freaking computers, are you? Leafly.com. Let's see. Yep, I was right. Absolutely. So go to leafly.com. They even have an app. And maybe the app is the way to go, you know. I'm sure if they have an app, it's incredibly organized and really well, just really well made with all the information. It's easy to kind of navigate through. So check them out. It's leafly.com. And it supports Apple Store and Google Play. It should be free. It might be free. That app. I don't see anywhere that it does, that it charges you anything. So, yeah, check it out. Last note for at least this subject is we have the cannabis convention coming. I believe it is February 21st and 22nd. They changed the date. It was going to be the last weekend in January. I believe they've changed it at least a month later. It's going to be at the Castle Palace Convention Center in Boston, which I believe maybe was the old Marriott. I'm not totally sure. But it's a straight-up castle. It looks just like a castle. You can look it up. And they're going to have lawyers, physicians, different representatives from the dispensaries, and maybe distributors. I don't think that they're going to actually have product there for you to be able to purchase. I think that may kind of conflict with the actual laws that we have right now in the state with purchasing it when you're not in an actual dispensary setting with the proper faculty and things like that. So either way, check it out. It's going to be a very good educational kind of day, you know, just to help disintegrate the old stigmas and more legitimize the practices and the just the product itself, you know. You can use it as a medicine. It's medicine, and it's also fun as fuck. You can smoke it, and you enjoy yourself. Okay? No one gets to tell you can't enjoy yourself. We're not talking about meth. We're not talking about cocaine. You know, it's silly. Let's see. So yeah, check them out, and look into some of the things I was saying with the distributors and the courier service if you're in need of it. Because I know a lot of people that do, and they just don't know where to go. They get their card, and they're just waiting for these stores to come up. And when you don't see shit on your Yahoo page or your newspaper, it just gets, it just can just fly away with the dust, and you don't even know when it's coming out, and just how much longer you're going to have to wait when you're really waiting for it, for legitimate reasons, you know. So this might help you get what you need a little quicker. And obviously, if I end up experiencing it, then I will let you know too. But through the reviews that I've read, it seems to be a really good service, and it's legitimate, and they're timely, and they deliver, you know, in more ways than one, I guess. So that's that. And the last thing, and this won't be too long, but it's just something that's kind of weirded me out, and I'm sure a lot of people maybe have run into this too. I've had some conversations in the last few weeks. Not the first ones, but, you know, a couple about this. And I've seen this for actually quite a while too. But it's a weird thing when you when you feel that you're at a weird place in your life and you're like, I need to change. I need to look at something like what's going on with me, or what's going on with my choices, my life in general, whatever it is. And there's a weird symptom, I would call it. There's a weird symptom or after effect to the idea of looking into like self-reflection, like deep the search to dismantle the ego, to kind of figure out like what's going on with you, what bothers you, what you can do to kind of maybe feel better. Not everybody just walks around and just has all their shit together. Show me somebody that does, because you're not going to. There's always a little something that's going on with people. That's just life. It's a fantasy standard to think that everyone that someone can know it all and know the right choices and know how to do this and know how to do that. And even if they proclaim that they do, that there aren't things that they also are working on, or that have just, things that they've done to themselves. They fuck themselves over, whatever that it is, So it's weird. I've been having conversations with people, and I'm seeing this thing of like, there's a lot of people that don't walk the walk, but they do plenty of talking the talk. And I know that that's applied to a lot of things. People say that about a lot of stuff. And it's very much, this one really bothers me a lot, though, because certain people seem to take a real high ground on a lot of subjects, on a lot of ways of living. And these people have no clue the very gray waters that they actually tread on, because it seems that when you do all this fucking reading and you do all these kind of thinking about the meme, these things that are all online, these inspirational quotes and all this shit. And you read all these self-help books, it's like, you see, when you do that, you start to really uncover, maybe, and hopefully, kind of what's going on with you. And I guess it's like anything else. It's very culty. When you feel that you found the way, and that you've worked hard to change the way your mind works, and to build good habits, and to look at things objectively, and to step back and really really try to embed characteristics in yourself, whether it's compassion or empathy, towards yourself and maybe towards others. I see a lot of people that when they go down that road, I see them. They get this chip on their shoulder almost that elevates them. They get to another level, and that another level in turn makes them just kind of look down and just kind of poo-poo people's problems and poo-poo people around them, because they feel that they have they've reached a new plane of thinking, And in turn, I'm hearing all these stories of people that that think this way, that have done all the homework on themselves, and in turn come back and not engage in things that you would think that they would, because of how enlightened they are now. Simple things, whether it's helping them with injuries, or helping them through hard times themselves, or small favors. They seem to fall short in the face of the lessons that they think that they've learned, and also try to fucking push onto everyone else. I think we all know a few people like that. These self-proclaimed little gurus that kind of swim around in the muddy waters to try to fucking pounce on you the second you're feeling bad, And they may think that they have the answers for you, but it's just a I don't know. It's kind of just it's a facade, Maybe not all of it is a facade, but it's like, this true enlightenment attitude. They discard old friends. They discard kind of being there for for their fellow person, which is kind of at the core of these lessons, really what some of it or most of it is all about, you know, being there for yourself and being there for people. And, you know, it's this new wavy, super cosmo terminology, just dog shit, just everywhere. It's so fantastical, you know? And I guess, yes, if you know, they sound wonderful. They sound very poetic at face value. And I'm sure it helps a lot of people that are very vulnerable. I mean, isn't that really what it comes down to? I mean, with vulnerability, right, you know, on its heels can be any kind of religion, right? You're vulnerable, so you look for answers, you know? And if you kind of pretty up and sprinkle a certain way of thinking with certain terminologies, you will break the barrier and reach some people, you know? And yeah, I guess that's definitely very good, but I guess what I'm saying is when you obtain something and you feel that it helps you and then it's moved you and truly changed your life, you have to be very careful on how and if you want to continue those lessons onto people that you may think need them. Because you can come off as a total fuckface and an absolute liar and an absolute hypocrite too. Because just because you learn these lessons, that doesn't mean you stop living your life. And I mean that in a sense of, as these people keep living their life, you see the weirdness in them. You see that they don't want to help people. You see that they don't engage in certain conversations. You see that they close off a lot of doors to just common social practices and social conversations because of their almost elitism that it seems to come off of them, you know? And it's just gross and it's nasty. And who the fuck wants to listen to somebody that you feel knows it all, you know? These yogi gurus that have the answer to everything. No. Give me a Zen master who gets drunk, who has prostitutes, who doesn't know, who indulges in the vices of life, you know? Give me that guru. Give me someone that's relatable. Give me someone that I can respect due to the circumstances of how he's living through his life, and not someone who feels that they've completed life and fucking get all of it. So now let me show you. And by the way, it's $4.99 if you really want to see it, you know? Please. So, yeah, I just needed to get that off my chest. Just because there's some people close to me that have been affected by some of these higher planed human beings. And I think a lot of these motherfuckers need to sit back and kind of look a little deeper. And they still have a little more ego to shed, because that shit's heavy and it's big. And a few books doesn't get rid of it. So, so that's it. Quick podcast. What, 40 minutes? Yeah. That's the new length of it. 40 minutes, maybe 43, whatever. Either way, check out Jesse Ricks. Check out Ralph's Diner. Look into the Boston Bake Shop and Leafly.com if you're in need of some medicinal medicine. And get your ego in check. And when it's checked, check it again. And when it's checked again, check it one more fucking time, please. And don't forget about the Wu-Tang, okay? Do not forget about the Wu-Tang. And what's the Wu-Tang album? A Better Tomorrow. And is tomorrow going to be better? Fuck no. 42 inches. So, episode number 7, pre-blizzard. Episode 8, maybe post-blizzard. That's if we all make it. Alright, peace and love. Enjoy. I'll be back on another rant soon, maybe. Love you.